Hey y'all, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Transformational Conversations with me, your girl, Antoinette. And today we have on a special guest, one of my favorite people in the whole wide world, my Uncle Junior. Okay? He's
Oh,
gonna
God.
don't act like that, Uncle. He's gonna come on and he's gonna talk to us about just his life experiences. So y'all put your seatbelt on and listen to my uncle. So
Whew.
Uncle Junior, hey
Yes, honey. How you doing, honey?
now. You
She
so
hated.
I am doing well. How are you doing today?
Doing beautiful, thank you.
Good, good. So today I'm so glad that you said yes, first of all. I'm glad that you decided to be my special guest today. And before we get into the interview, I just want to ask you, can you just, before we get into it, tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my cousin, well, my niece, I'm sorry, she has asked me to come on today. I haven't had some life experience. I spent time in the military. I was a paratrooper. And I was in the military. I played football, semi-pro football. And by me finishing the season of semi-pro football, I started boxing.
Well, hold on. Before we get into the whole story, how about, can you just tell us about how you were as a child? Like, tell us about your childhood a little bit.
Oh my God. I had a normal child.
You
I
had
come from I have 6 siblings. I have 5 siblings. I have 3 sisters and 2 brothers. I'm the oldest.
Okay.
And I just had a normal childhood, My parents were divorced when I was young. So I spent a lot of time with my grandparents. And then, but as my parents were divorced, my dad spent a lot of time with us. Girl, my dad was a mess. He always was there for us. The whole time that my parents was divorced, my mother was there, but my dad was there all the time. Every weekend, my dad was there. He was always there. I miss my dad. My dad's not here anymore, but I miss my dad. My dad was something. He was a lot of influence. He influenced me to do a lot of things in life. He was just gave me a positive direction. You know what I mean? Never said go do this, do that, but he just gave you you talk to him, gave you a positive conversation, and you just went forth from them.
That's right. So was you born in Delaware?
I was born in Delaware. I was born on the Eastside of Wilmington.
Oh, okay. Okay. And what high school did you go to?
I went to Howard, then I went to Dickinson.
Oh, okay. You went to Howard and then Dickinson. And then
Yes.
When did you join the Army?
I joined the Army when I got out of Dickinson. And I joined the Army, I think it was around August, I think it was 18. August 18th, 1981, I think it was.
Oh,
yes.
Wow. And what made you decide to go into the Army?
I was seeing a girl, and her mother had asked me, the girl was saying she was going to college. And her mother asked me, what are you going to do? I said, I don't know. Then her sister joined the Army. And I said, okay, I'll go join the Army. So I went downtown. I took the test. I passed the test. And when I passed the test, he said, you're going to be going to the Army. And before I know it, the van came and picked me up that morning, and I was on my way.
Oh my God! And what did your mom or did Pop say anything? Grandmom, did they say anything?
No, I tell you what, it was my dad. My dad was there, and my dad was just saying, "Okay, go for it." You know what I mean? I do remember it was early in the morning, and the van came and got me, and the van took me from Delaware to Philadelphia. And we went to Philadelphia. We had lunch, and then I caught a plane from Philadelphia to Virginia, and I was starting out when I did my basic training and Fort Jackson, South Carolina. And a plane took me from Philadelphia to Fort Jackson, and it was something, man. I remember. I'm laughing because it was amazing ride, man. It was amazing. Went to AIT, went to boot camp. Well, I'm sorry, I went to boot camp first. Then with the AIT, when I was a supply clerk. And when I did my AIT, these guys came and said, "Do you want to join the Airborne?" 87, the Airborne. I said, "Be Airborne?" I said, "What is that?" You're 19, 18 years old. I said, "Do you get paid?" They said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, I wanted to join." I joined, and I went on there. I went from there, and I would join the 82nd Airborne.
Oh, wow. What was that like?
Girl, you talking about it was better than sex. It was better than sex. Jumping out the airplanes. Oh my God! I was jumping out of airplanes. When I jumped out of airplanes. Then when I was there, I played semi-pro football. And after I finished playing semi-pro football, the guys was there. But I was in the gymnasium lifting weights. So the guys was in there boxing. They was in there boxing. I could do that. So I asked the guy, "Can I join the boxing team?" And I joined I made the boxing team. And I ended up boxing for like almost 4.5 years.
Oh, wow. While you was in the Army?
While I was in the Army, yes.
Okay. And then how long was you in the Army in total?
I was in the Army for I think 5 months. No, I'm sorry. 5 years, 7 months, about 28 days.
Okay. And then you left. What made you decide to get out of the Army?
I had re-enlisted once, and then I was boxing. I learned how to box in the Army. So when I was grade ETS, I said, "Well, I'm going to join." I was going to try to be a professional boxer. You had to be a professional boxer. Big hope, big dreams. You know how that goes. You were young, and I tried, and I got out, and I started boxing as a professional boxer.
And how did you start? You started out because of in the Army, but how was it being a professional boxer?
Oh, well, because what happened, I had a pretty successful amateur career in the Army. I was 43-8, I think I was. I was a national champion. I was a 4-time All-Army champion. I was a 3-time in the service champion. I was a 4-time Force Con champion. Force Con, when you box everybody locally in the Army, different military bases in the United States. And then when you box Army, all Armies, that's when you go you box everyone in the United States Army boxes. And I won that 4 times. And then I became in the service champion when you box Army, Air Force, Marine, and Navy. You box everybody in those, and you beat everybody up in those. I beat everyone up in the Army, in the Navy, Marines, and Air Force. I won that 4 times. I had, oh my God. And then when I got out, it just influenced me to be a professional boxer. I got out, I boxed, and I became as a boxing 17-3, 13 KOs.
What?
I lost to Ray Mercer, Bernardo Mercado, and Michael Dose.
Wow.
And I tell you what, something was really exciting in my personal career. I had met Mike Tyson, never boxed him, but I met him when he was 60, the whole 84 Olympic team, and I lost to the heavyweight on the 88 Olympic team, Alex Garcia. I lost to him in the World Championship games, and that really hurted me, man, but that was just part of losing. But I was a main event in Madison Square Garden. That was one of the highlights of my boxing career.
Wow.
I lost that fight, but I was the main event in Madison Square Garden.
And who did you fight in that?
I fought Michael Dose. I lost. I got stopped in the 5th round in that fight. Did you come to that fight?
No, I remember watching that on TV.
No, I think you can. I think y'all can to the fight.
Really?
Yeah, I think y'all. You was a little girl then, because you know Dad used to throw all y'all up. Dad used to throw all y'all.
Yes, we used to be out. We used to be out.
Oh
So
my God.
I wouldn't be surprised if we were there.
Yeah, I think y'all did come there. Cause Daddy always came to. If I fought locally, y'all usually came to the fights.
Mm-hmm.
He threw all y'all up in the air anyway, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. So, what was one of the most challenging things about being in the Army that you experienced?
Oh man, I thought that going to airborne school, jumping out of airplanes, that was something to experience because it was just something new. It was exciting. It was a challenge. And girl, I'm gonna tell you something. This is crazy. I had a friend. I used to call him Michael. I used to call his name was Monroe. Out of Fayetteville. I think he was from either Fayetteville. He was somewhere in North Carolina. And me and Monroe we joined. And one day was in the plane. And we looked at each other like, what are we doing jumping out this airplane, man? We didn't have, it was our third or fourth jump. Knew you young, crazy. And like, man, I said, we jumped out of airplanes, man. That was something when I was a ParaTrooper. That was I won't say it was just challenging, you know what I mean? It was just something new.
And I know you always say how the Army changed your life. Like, how did the Army change your life?
Oh man, it just made me mature as an individual. Made me mature as an individual. I just made some good choices, you know. And it was just met people from all over the country, all over the United States, meeting people, doing different things, experiencing different things. Oh, it was just a challenging part of my life, man. And it really made me mature as an individual.
First of all, I know that you was a security guard for Muhammad Ali for a little bit.
But
tell us about that.
Well, what happened was I embraced Islam when I was in the military. And as we embraced Islam, it just took me to another venture. Again, I was boxing. I was halfway decent. So when you're halfway decent, you meet different. You get introduced to people, and being introduced to certain people, just go from one thing to another, and before you know it, you're there where you are, and you just wonder how you got there, and you had to get there through your life experience, the people that you meet. But when I was there with Ali, man, it was in. Razor Ruddock was fighting Bone Crusher Smith. I was sparring with Bone Crusher Smith in Fayetteville because he lived there in Fayetteville. But Razor Ruddock trainer was Art Miles. He trained me. Well, he trained Razor Ruddock and he trained me too. And I just met them through Razor Ruddock because Razor Ruddock, one of Ali's role guys, manager, was part of Razor Ruddock, and I was just part of the team. And I was with him for like 4 days, man. We had breakfast together, we had dinner together, rode in a limousine together, we sat at the table, I heard him getting interviewed, and it was just an experience being around. One of the things that I really didn't do, and now that I regret, is taking pictures of myself, confidence things, and I just really think at the time I don't really think it is that important. But like further when you get all further in life, you go through experiences, and my dad always told me, said sometimes a picture's better than a conversation, and that is true.
That is very true, and I gotta remember that too, because I think sometimes I do the same thing. I'm just like, I just go ahead, I don't worry about taking no pictures. Let's just keep on with life. But pictures are important.
Yes, it is important because you have to really understand. You need something it's great to reflect back on the conversation, but people like to see something. People like to see physical things, and you got that's what people like to see. And if it goes for the same thing for yourself too. You know what I mean? That was something. Oh man,
But
Oh, I
now,
met so many people. I met so many when I was boxing. Just being in the gym with people. Oh my goodness. I just remember just going out to California and training in one gym. I was training in one gym. I was training with a brother. The guy who ran the gym was a brother-in-law of Sugar Ray Robinson. I think his cousin, his cousin was married. It was just so I can't really
wow.
remember how that happened, but it was just going to different places, different gymnasiums, different training camps. Oh my goodness. Woo. Yes.
How long
Yes.
did your career last as a professional boxer?
I would say about 8 or 9, about 6 or 7 years. It was.
Okay.
I tell you what happened is that last 2 fights I fought Michael Dokes. I lost that fight, and then when our last fight, I fought uh, um, Ray Mercer. Ray Mercer and myself, we boxed together as amateurs.
Mm.
We was on the same All-Army team for a couple of years. And when I lost to him, it really done something to me. And I just moved on. Even if you speak to him now about that fight, he'll say something to you about it. We laugh about it. But I lost to him. I got stopped by him in the 5th round. And it just done something to me. We fought it was a main event in Atlantic City.
Mm.
And at the Coliseum there. And at that fight, I just moved on. You know what I mean? I was 17-3, 13 KOs. And I just time to move on.
Did he continue?
He continued. He became champion. He became champion. I think he was the WBO champion, I think.
Oh, okay.
I ended up about maybe a couple years back. I was going through Fayetteville, and quite naturally, when you go to certain places, I ran into him there, Ray Mercer. I ended up staying there with him for a couple of days, and we just reflect on me and him. We reflect on our careers, and we didn't talk much about our fights, because we boxed together. We never boxed. We were on the same boxing team, but I was a heavyweight. He was a light heavyweight. Oh man, that was just something. I was on a team with Anthony Hembrick. One of my best friends was Kenny McKinney. Kenny McKinney was a bad boy too. I think he was 129 pounder. Kenny McKinney, Al Cole, oh my goodness, Andrew Maynard, a couple of other guys was on the boxing team. We were on the All-Army boxing team for years together while we all spent time in the Army together.
Oh, wow.
Yes, yes.
Now, one of the things you said was that you found Islam while you was in the Army. Now,
yes.
Go ahead.
Well, I tell you what happened is that Islam has always interested me. I have always wanted to be a Muslim. Really, I remember as a kid seeing the Muslims walking around in the neighborhood with their bow ties on and all that. That's always wanted to be. I think it was always clean, always nice, and I always wanted to be a Muslim. So the opportunity came. There's a very good friend of mine named Rashad Muhammad, and Rashad Muhammad was a good friend, and Rashad Muhammad was a good friend of mine. He's another good friend of another individual here in Wilmington, and that was something. He's the one who introduced me to Islam. He's the one that became a person who was who influenced me. I took my Shahada, and then when I took my Shahada, he passed on to another brother here that I've known him for a very long time, and he's the one that helps me now in my Islamic, go now. I said my Islamic path. I put it that might be another thing.
Now, how did your parents though respond to you choosing Islam?
No, my dad was like, man, he was never really a stone My mother, my my mother might have been said something, but my no one, no, because I was grown. I
Yeah.
was grown. I was doing my own thing, so no one really, had actually I had made my own choices. You know what I mean? I was grown. My parents, nothing they really could say about
Yeah.
anything. You know, it is what it is. You're grown, man. You know how it is when you get grown. You choose your own path when you get grown.
Right. That's true. Okay. And tell us about the Hall of Fame that you was inducted in. What Hall of Fame and when was you inducted? And
I was, I was. It's a local African American Hall of Fame here in Delaware,
mm-hmm.
and they called me one day, and I'm just sitting here on the couch, and they called me, and the guy said he's going to induct me inside the African American Hall of Fame. I said, yeah, right. You know what I mean? You don't really know. And it wasn't never the national Hall of Fame. The local African American Hall of Fame was very decent. And I got joined, and I became now I'm a member now of African American Hall of Fame here in Delaware.
Wow.
And it's pretty interesting how you induct guys that they're being inducted into the organization. It's pretty decent,
But what do you have to do to get inducted into this?
It's gotta be, just have it inspiring sport, and just do halfway good in it. You know what I mean? I'm saying, do pretty deep. I did pretty good in boxing. You know what I mean? I did pretty good. I had a pretty successful amateur career. I had a pretty successful professional career. You know what I mean? And I just after I finished, I just moved on.
Right.
Not saying it was bad or good. You know what I mean? Just moved on. Because you got life after that. You know what I mean? I was very fortunate. I mean, I didn't pick up any bad habits through my boxing. I continue having physically able to do things. I could speak halfway decent, so I just travel on the rest of my life. You know what I mean? I had a pretty decent career, and I have a pretty decent career now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I've been married now for almost 20 years. And have a successful marriage, and so I'm thankful, very thankful.
Yeah. Yeah. And now that you are you're almost 60. You're not 60 yet, but how are you still you was only in the Army for less than 6 years, but today in your 60s, how are you still benefiting from the Army?
I tell you what, I got injured a couple times when I was in the Army. You know what I mean? I was a ParaTrooper. I got injured in my back, my knees. Now I'm medically still connected to the military because I have a disability. That the disability has not enabled me from doing anything, but it just helped me just be more, I don't know the right word to use, but I just been, connected by doing that. Because I still go to the VA hospital,
mm-hmm.
and I get seen at by the medical, and that's what I was doing. I allow me to still be connected to the military. I still got friends that I still speak to.
Mm-hmm.
I talk to some guys that, you know what I mean, I've been knowing for years. We talk to each other right now sometime every other weekend. On the weekends, we used to call each other up and see how each other were doing, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the big things of being in the military.
Good. But it's just that you still get that good medical care. Although you have not been in the military for years, you can still get taken care of like you're a part of the military, and that's a major key right there.
Yes, it is major. And I have always tried my best to influence not everyone, but I always talk to kids and older people or young adults that going to the military. A lot of people think you go to the military that you can go join wars. No, you join the military. And you just have some experiences. What I mean is, you join the military, like going to college. You join, and you just expect good things to happen from it. What I mean by that, I joined, and I joined. I was going to be a supply clerk, and I ended up being a supply clerk, and it went on from there. And I got there. I played sports. jumped out of airplanes, went on different adventures in the military, doing things. Oh man, I enjoy it still till today. My experience in the military has brought me I don't know how to say it, but it has brought me forward. Has brought me forward in my life to where I'm at now.
Yeah.
I really think it's really a good thing.
Good. So, what would you say to somebody that's just on the fence about joining the military? What would you say?
I would tell them come off the fence, because just come off the fence and go ahead and just go, because I mean, there's no need of sitting there at what I'm going to do, how I'm going to just go ahead and do it. I mean, because a lot of people think that you're going to join the military, you're going to go to war. I was in the Army for 6 years. I boxed by Miss Grenada. I missed a couple other little small wars. And I was boxing. I was on a boxing team. So they let me be in a boxing team. I was on the boxing team, and I was there for 6 years. You know what I mean? I was there at least for 4.5 years. I spent 5 years, 7 months in the military. 4.5 years I was on the boxing team the whole time. And then go to any wars, then go to any small wars, and do any, just jumped out of airplanes, and I did the boxing.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that the military just gave me a decent life, man. What I mean is that I'm still benefiting from being in the military. You know what I mean? Financially, you know what I mean? I got benefits. You get benefits. The benefits is out of this world. Medical benefits, financial benefits, going to school. Oh my goodness, just doing all kinds of things. I have experienced all kinds of things. I mean, you know, things that help me to be there for my life, you know, financially secure and being married. You know what I mean? It has really done me good.
Awesome. Uncle. Well, I thank you so much. See, that was it. That's all. That's it.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us today, and I love you.
I think I love you too, and I hope that I did well on your interview.
You did. You did so well. You bet yourself.
Yes, man.